Of course, the first thing that pops into this writer's mind about a Mad About You reboot is that Krusty the Clown predicted it on The Simpsons in his short skit, Mad About Shoe. Get it? The big shoes? Neither did Krusty, and he stole that joke from Paul Reiser. 18 years after Paul and Jamie's 23-year-old daughter Mabel made a documentary about the Buckman family history, it has been confirmed, via TV Line, that Reiser and Helen Hunt are in talks to revive the NBC sitcom Mad About You. There is no network attached, no deals are in place, and Sony TV has yet to issue a comment. If we can find the story to tell, and anybody's interested, I'd be open to it, Reiser told People in October. Stand-up comedian Reiser, who got his start on screen by hanging around and improvising on the set of Diner, and went on to play Eddie Murphy's left-behind partner in Beverly Hills Cop, the asshole who betrayed Sigourney Weaver in Alien, being nominated for Emmys and Golden Globes, and making movies like Whiplash, Concussion and Bad Jobs before emerging from the Upside Down on Netflix's Stranger Things, was resistant to redoing the show for the longest time. For years, I would have said, absolutely no, we never would do it, because I was very proud of how we ended it really well, Reiser told People. Now, because everybody's talking about it, I started to think, maybe if there's a story we could come up with. Mad About You Season 8 would take place 17 years after the finale, The Final Frontier, and focus on Paul and Jamie looking forward to empty nest syndrome, as they push their daughter Mabel out of the house and into college. To me, it's interesting when I see my kids are growing and leaving the house, Reiser told People. It's like that moment when you get married. It's like we're in a new world that we don't know the rules of. In the series Closer, Mabel, who was named after her grandmother, played by Carol Burnett, was played by stand-up comic, actor and Jerry Seinfeld's all-too-perfect other half Janine Garofalo. Garofalo played herself on an episode of The Sopranos. Steve Buscemi, who played one of the many Tonys on the Gangster Family series, also acted on Mad About You, reliving his own stand-up hell when he was bumped from a late-night slot at the Improv by Paul Reiser in the 70s and drove Buscemi from stand-up to acting. The episode, entitled Token Friend, relocated the unintentional parable to a subway station. The series also featured Stephen Wright, Mel Brooks, Jerry Lewis and a slew of comic legends. Of course, Paul and Jamie didn't actually get married until after their 8th anniversary. The guy who officiated at the wedding, Lenny, played by Lyle Lovett, wasn't an ordained minister, but with the power invested in him, his jackhammer in the city of New York, the couple renewed new vows on the streets with only manholes as witnesses. See related how Paul Reiser changed film Mad About You ran on NBC between 1992 and 1999. Reiser co-created the series, based loosely on his book Couplehood, with Danny Jacobson. Mad About You was almost cancelled until it was slotted with Seinfeld and Frasier on must-see comedy Thursday nights in 1993. The role of Jamie Buckman was almost played by Terry Hatcher, who went on to play Lois on Lois and Clark. As good as it gets, actress Hunt won 3 Golden Globes and 4 Emmys. Larry Charles, who ran Seinfeld, took over after a few years. Mad About You experimented with tone in TV form. They once taped an episode in a long take and ran it without cuts, which meant there was no room for commercials. Mad About You joins a slew of revivals and reboots like Will and Grace, Fuller House and ABC's upcoming Roseanne, which will feature both actresses who played Becky. We've also seen reboots of Gilmore Girls, One Day at a Time, Star Trek, The Twilight Zone, Dynasty and MacGyver. NBC is even thinking of bringing back The Office without